All right, howdy there, folks. This is Papa Smith, and I've got a garden and I guess harvest update for y'all today. And since I got a goodly bit of work to do in the garden, I'm gonna try and make this video relatively quick. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm in the south most bed right now, and this is where all my carrots are growing. And I'll just make one disclaimer here: this garden definitely needs weeded, so you're going to see a whole bunch of weeds in this video. My bad. But at any rate, you can see the carrot tops are doing real good. I haven't really checked the soil yet. That'll be one of my things to do, and see if the roots are growing or if they are of size. They probably should be getting pretty close, so that's pretty cool. In the bed right next to it, call it bed number 2, is where I've got all my kale growing. That kale on the far end down there where you're looking at where all those flowers are has definitely gone to seed and gone to bolt. I'm going to try and collect some of those seeds, so that's why I've just kind of let it go. Plus it's nice to have the soil occupied so the weeds don't grow in it and that sort of thing too. So it kind of does a dual function for me. I get some seeds and it covers up the ground so that I don't have to worry about any weeds growing. In this portion here though, I did cut those bits of kale off yesterday. Okay, I added it to my salad mix. In this bed number 3, if we'll call it, I bought a couple of plant starts here, some zucchini plant starts, and I planted some seeds in the rest of these spaces here. You can see where the X is cut out there. I've got them kind of spread out all the way throughout the bed. And so we'll see if any of those seeds sprout up, but pretty soon if they don't, I'll just go ahead and get some plant starts of some yellow squash and the butternut squash that I want. So that's kind of what's going on with this bed. Otherwise, we're keeping it covered up so that, again, so we don't get weeds growing all over the place. And this bed, where there's a few weeds, not a whole lot, but this is the lettuce bed, and this is the salad green bed, I should say, rather. And I harvested this yesterday with the kale bed that's over there. So kind of put that all together and made one big salad mix. But that is all looking good. As you can tell, some of this is going to bolt, and that specifically are the cabbages that are over here, and a lot of that is arugula, believe it or not. So the arugula is going to flower, and so I just need to cut all those tops off. I don't really want the arugula seeds volunteering themselves in the garden, so I will cut those down here pretty soon, actually. This bed is a bed that I'm harvesting today. This one's got a bunch of chives in it, and so I will cut and have some fresh chives around, and if I don't use them up fresh, I'll just chop them up real fine, put them in the oven, dehydrate them, and we can use them later on. Further into the bed are the peas, and you can see the peas kind of growing up the trellis there. Same over there, and I'll see if I can step across the bed here to get you zoomed in on that pod. There are some pea pods growing, so pretty soon I'll have a nice harvest of peas to look forward to, which is pretty exciting. In the next bed, this is the oregano bed, and I guess I'll talk about that first. Let me go ahead and back to the end of the garden here. It's a lot of oregano. Disregard the hoops there; those are the potato towers. But I mean, in between the towers, there's another bush. You can see right there, and even at the end, another one. So there's a ton of oregano. I'll be cutting that down, giving it a haircut, I should say. I'm not cutting it all the way down. So I'll give it a nice little trim up. It's about due. And then there's some oregano actually in the previous bed that I was talking about too. So I'll just give all of that a nice little haircut and have some fresh oregano. And it's kind of the same as chives. If I don't use it all up, which I don't anticipate will happen, I will just end up putting it in the oven and drying it, and then having some dried oregano, which is how people probably usually end up interacting with it. The potato towers are doing fine. I'm not doing a good job keeping up with adding soil and hilling them up, but it's not a disaster either. And as you can tell, the plants are fly, he caught on me. The plants are responding just fine, so nothing major to report there, and then I just need to keep up with hilling them up and putting more soil on top. Hey, next bed. It's not as bad with the weeds as I thought it was going to be, but you can still see them. This is the onion bed here. Onion tops look good. Some of the bulbs look like they're starting to form, so that's a good thing. Some of them look like they're stalling a little bit, and that's okay. I've never really had great success growing onions. This is definitely the best start I've had, so we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. Something tells me that this will be pretty successful this year, which is good for me. I'm kind of excited for that. Further down in the bed, I've put a couple of tomato plants in here. I'm probably going to get a couple more tomato plants and kind of sprinkle them all the way down the bed and kind of trellis them up with string and that sort of thing. So probably will do that. Next to them, you probably have noticed these garlics, and they're starting to, see if I can show you this one here, they're starting to scape up a little bit. And so I'll be harvesting. I've already pulled some yesterday. I'll pull some more today because I see that they've grown out some since yesterday. So I'll pull a couple more out today and just kind of keep pulling those. And you can kind of use them as a soft garlicky green and like stir fries and that sort of thing. They're very flavorful, very tender, a little sweet, and they're just scapes are just absolutely delicious. I think sometimes even more delicious than the garlic itself. So love me some garlic scapes, but the garlic is growing well, as you can tell there. In the bed over there, the last bed, haven't really done a whole lot with this bed, so there's a ton of weeds that I'm going to probably end up having to till up. I hate tilling the soil, but this is probably going to be one of those situations where I just kind of count my losses, till up the soil, get rid of all the weeds, and kind of start fresh. And so that'll be probably what's happening with this bed. There are a few peas, like I think I see one right there, but at any rate, and I need to get a trellis on those so they can grow up the rest of the way up the rest of that trellis. So I'll put something down lower in that lower region for them to climb up on. But that's pretty much all that's going on with this bed, and that's pretty much all that's going on with the garden. There's one more thing, and we've got some beans finally sprouting up. And so assuming the birds don't eat up all of my bean sprouts, we should be able to get us a good harvest of beans this year. So we'll see what happens with that. But this whole bed where all the holes are plucked out is where I should have a bean plant growing out. Bush style beans, green beans, but that should go well. That's pretty much the garden. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this content, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you later.